Hey everybody, welcome to number 3 in this series of the Twinflame Runner Chaser transmissions. One of the YouTube followers asked me to do these and I thought that was a really good idea. So this is number 3 in this series. It begins with an explanation of what's coming up in the reading, and then healing and light language will come through to bring in the active upgrades and shifts that need to happen and clear out what needs to go. So here we go. So this first column here is the chaser. The second column is the unity, the third energy. And the third column is the runner. So we can also call the chaser the intuitive, often the divine feminine of the two, and the runner as the more physically oriented, physical world oriented side, which is often the divine masculine. So what we've got here is a summary, and then we'll dive in deeper and we'll bring some light language through. As a summary, we have the advice to the chaser, divine feminine intuitive twin, is be an inspiration, be a beacon, light the way for others. There's an acknowledgement of sacrifice made because the chaser twin, the chaser twin, the intuitive twin, they want to do their work. They want to make progress. They want to bring those two hearts together, like in that image. They want to work through this together. They have the fear within themselves. They have a lot of stuff that needs to be worked through, but they want to work. They want to do it. They want to do what's required to come together. And then the really down on the ground advice is love yourself first. Your self-respect makes you more romantically attractive, but this is also an energetic thing. Loving yourself shifts the energy within your twin. It also changes the focus. They don't feel chased and they come back, they relax. So if we go over to the runner now, we've got the advice is pure intention, find clarity, surrender your ego. So there's an ego resistance to this connection in the runner, in the physical level twin. It doesn't mean that they're not connected and not feeling everything you do on another level. They're just not as conscious of it. And they're much more then prone to their programming and the physical world, ego level experiences and goings on and distractions. So what's in their emotions, what's motivating them is cosmic flow. Your power comes from within. So that's what they need to discover, because at the moment they're quite focused in their physical world, getting their ducks in a row, things they need to work through on the physical planes, whilst the intuitive twin is taking care of the more spiritual side. And the thing with the chaser twin, the intuitive twin, is because they're so much more connected to the higher, knowing the template, what they're here for, probably also what the connection is about, what it's for and what it's pushing them through and what it's triggering, because they tend to be more in touch with that. They're also more in touch with that intense pulling together and magnetism, whereas the runner twin, or the more physically minded twin, often the divine masculine, is the one who can feel that at some level, but as it doesn't consciously and tangibly feel it, it's just something coming from inside. that they don't understand. It is scary and they don't understand it, and it feels to the ego like a threat and like a trigger. It also triggers other lifetime memories of separation, and separation comes up in this next card here. So there's a resistance, there's a pulling away, there's a tendency towards separation. So we had 2 cards come up here. We had the soulmate come up as well. Yes, this is your soulmate. So a twin flame is a soulmate. It's a specific type of soulmate. And they know this is a soul connection, that they feel it, they know it. But that's exactly what feels very difficult to their human ego level. Our ego is there to protect us. And it brings up multi-dimensional fears and traumas in both twins. The ego level twin, the 3D level twin, is less able to consciously understand that. So they're almost working with it blind, and the intensity of the twin flame connection feels too much for them. So what they do is they go and work through what comes up through that twin flame connection, what it triggers in them, what it brings up. They then work that through in another relationship. So there's that separation from soulmate there coming up. And they may be working through that. It's, quite well known as the karmic, but what it really means is you're working through ego level relationship stuff, traumas in other relationships to clear it, to get that clarity that's in that advice card, to get that clarity. So clearing it out through having experiences with others in relationships, in order to work through that ego hold and those ego fears and the way the ego is set up to protect you. And of course, the ego is protecting from deep heart, transformative heart and soul connections, because that would be the death of the ego. So we've got go with the flow. This is the unity. Go with the flow, relax and trust, accept what is happening. That is the advice for the third energy. So really, to both of you, to the intuitive twin, relax and trust the separation. Trust that they need to be separate right now. Trust where they're at. Trust that you've got work to do in being an inspiration, a light and a beacon for others to follow, and that is what brings you into the third energy and into the higher unity vibrations. Accept what's happening. And for the runner twin, relax and trust. They're fearful, they're running, they're moving, they're keeping themselves separate. Accept that this person is in your life for a reason, and they keep connecting with you and contacting you, possibly just when they're guided, or possibly when they're having an ego reaction themselves, for a reason. They're reaching out to you for a reason. They have this longing for a reason. But they're trying to assert boundaries, and we want to make sure those boundaries aren't a wall, that there's being open to the communication and the connection, rather than blocking it, ghosting, that kind of thing. So if they relax and trust that these connections are coming at times that they can handle, it's to trigger something for them to work through again, but they can work through it. Then they can surrender that ego and find clarity if they can relax and trust and accept that, yes, right now they don't feel capable of being in the connection, but they also trust that the connection is for a reason. So Then in the middle there, we've got, kind of what's going on at emotional level for the unity, for the two. Past memories bind us, but will also free us as we seek our own self-truth. When you feel lonely, look up at the night sky, for you will see the universal home and the stars to guide you back to me. It's so much bigger than this moment on Earth at this time. Though twin flames have a very powerful purpose right here, right now, in this moment, in this paradigm, it's bigger than that. It's so much bigger. It's a blink in time. It's a blink in the twin flames reality. And there are past memories from other lifetimes and even lifetimes in other dimensions that bind, but also create the traumas for clearing. And it's also those past memories that free us as we seek our own self-truth. So it's like clearing those traumas, understanding why the fear is there, from what the traumas really are. And there's also the other levels of it. There's attachment styles, the avoidant types, and the clinging types, all of that kind of thing. And twins are purposely incarnated into families because those attachment styles and those genetic programming and those upbringings and cultures and everything actually enables the triggering of those other lifetime traumas and the things that those twin flames are to work through. So again, it's really just understanding that this is a process. It's much bigger than the two of you. It's part of evolution. It's part of ascension. There's a really big mission in moving these romantic relationships into sacred relationship templates that then makes that kind of higher level living and relating possible for others and helps the planet ascend. So at the day-to-day level of that twin flame unity column, we've got give your relationship a chance, work on your partnership. So even if you're in separation, one's unhappily in separation and one is wanting to be separate, you are both working on your relationship, because you need to work on yourselves, clear all of your own karma, trauma, triggers, step into your purpose, step into your light to come together again at the next point. Share those energies and then take them back to your lives. And this is a cycle and it goes on until such a time comes that there's the ability to not be triggered into separation. So I'm focusing on go with the flow. So they're telling me, so the answer is always work on your own self, but also align to the higher version of the third energy. So align to the truth and the knowing, and see if you can even feel in your heart where you are one and where you are always one, and not focus on the separation in the physical. If you can relax and accept that separation is how it is right now, then you can accept that inevitably things change. And you're changing because of that separation. If you weren't in separation, you may not be shifting and changing in the same way and clearing things in the same way. But there may come a time that you can do that whilst in unity. But you are always in unity at a higher level, always. Whatever's going on in each other's lives, the other is feeling it. For the intuitive twin, that might be consciously, but for the physical twin, it may be unconsciously, but they are still responding in their life to what they're feeling at a higher level, even if they're not conscious of it. And what they're feeling at a higher level is always connected to what their twin is doing. They're sharing that at a higher level. Okay, I felt something shift then for a lot of you out through the sacral and the solar plexus and the throat chakra. And that is now opening up a channel for that higher unity, third energy, to come more into embodiment as you shifted out that trauma of separation. Yeah. So I'm feeling the heart chakra now in the runner twin. And I'm feeling that. So in the pure intention card, I'm seeing the bird behind, energizing the heart chakra of the runner with the diamond geometry above the head. And I'm seeing that lit up horn pointing forward, showing direction with higher guidance. And I can feel that dropping into the runner twin. So they're finding clarity there. Finding clarity and finding connection to that cosmic flow. Your tears are an expression of the light and beauty your heart feels and sees. In here you'll find me. So as they connect to that higher self, as they connect to their heart, that's where their twin resides. They're always there. They're always connected, regardless of if they're in other relationships or other situations. Okay. So we're going back now to the be a beacon in the chaser twin. And there's a bird there as well. And an activated third eye through that unicorn horn, giving direction. And it's connected to the crown of the chaser twin. Their light is lighting the way and giving the direction and leadership to the others around, showing them what unconditional love is, showing them how to love from a higher template, and enabling that to be a way of loving in the world. Opportunity is never wasted. Every sacrifice made pushes each twin towards their own self-alignment. It is not about fixing your twin, but yourself. Everything else will fall into place. Just bringing that focus to self, to your light work, to your ascension work, to your soul's evolution, your soul's purpose. Love yourself first. Okay, I'm just going to... I just want to read that Love Yourself First card. I feel like I want to dive deeper into that. If you desire more romance, first look at yourself in a caring and non-critical way, of course. The more you love who you are, the greater your capacity to feel loved by others. This means trusting yourself to take good care of you, and it may entail becoming more assertive. Don't worry, you can still be very lovable while affirming your boundaries. Perhaps this means spending some time alone instead of in relationship. During this period, you can delve into introspection and understand the patterns of your love life. Ultimately, you can take responsibility for attracting and agreeing to every relationship you've had. To heal your heart, find blessing and lessons you've gained from each one. For instance, have you become stronger, more independent, or more patient as a result of your prior partnerships? If so, let everything else from the past go except for the lessons and the love. The card emphasizes the importance of loving yourself first, especially as you prepare for your next relationship or heal the one you're in. As you gain self-respect, you'll begin attracting more loving people in your life. This will lead to healthy friendships and romances based upon mutual respect. Atata tita tatita kakatoko kotoko koko. Akatata tita tatita kakakata kakaka. Akatati takati takakata tita kakataka. Akatata tita katakata katakatoko koko koko. Akatata tatatata akatoko koko. Akatata akata akata akatata kotoko. Akatata tatatata katoko toko koko. Akatatata. I'm going to read the separation card. The romance angels are helping you during this period of separation from your partner. This card comes to you as an indication of angelic support as you spend time away from each other. While you're apart, the angels can help you fill your hours with healthy activities which help your present or future relationships. This card may indicate a temporary period of aloneness, such as while your partner is travelling for business, or time in your life when you're single and preparing for your next relationship. It can also mean a marital separation or divorce. Call upon the angels for support and guidance during these transitions. They can help you discover the deep healing to be mined as you spend time alone while preparing you for the next part of your relationship journey. And their soulmate straight after it. You chose this card because you wonder if a certain person is your soulmate, and the answer is yes. As we all do, you have many soulmates, beings with whom you share mystical soul connections and life path. Soulmates incarnate with a plan of coming together for mutual spiritual and personal growth. As you suspected, the person you're inquiring about is yours. This sense of familiarity and comfort you felt whilst you first met also indicates your soulmate bond. This card sometimes comes to those who ask, when will I meet my soulmate, or will I ever meet my soulmate? So the other interpretation here, and this is also a possibility, is that the runner at the time you're listening to this transmission may be separating from the partner they have been learning about relationships through and growing and getting themselves ready for a higher type of relationship. They may be getting to point of resolving that karma, learning those lessons, healing their heart, and moving higher to a twin flame connection. And at the time I'm recording this message, there has been a lot of indication that the twin flames are coming together, at least for another round at this time, working towards that coming together again, down in day-to-day 3D reality. So I'm going to read Give Your Relationship a Chance. But what I also want to say is these cards are also relevant for each other down on the ground here, because you are mirroring each other. So whatever's true for one is true for the other. It's like the yin yang. There's a seed of one in the other. So the runner also needs to love themselves first. And a lot of the time it is that lack of self-loving that is making them resist what their heart is calling for and listening to their head, which is more about what fits at a cultural, familial, genetic level. So give your relationship a chance. The romance angels see that your relationship is worth devoting effort to. Although there may be issues, these can be worked through and healed. You need to communicate to the relationship to ensure there's best chance of success. At the very least, if you do end it, you'll know that you gave it all, your all. You'll also understand the role that you played in its dynamics. In this way, you'll avoid attracting similarly painful situations in the future. You receive this card because there's hope for your partnership. The love is still there. Working with a counsellor may be your best option at this point. This professional can identify areas of dysfunction and guide you both to healthier directions. So that unity that's coming in through the heart and the soul, it's triggering on the ground the issues that need resolving. And this card, I believe, is saying don't ignore them. Notice them. Consciously work with them, however it is you do that. Atatati takakaka, whether that's by yourself in meditation or through a relationship that feels safer to the ego and the programming. But because also the chaser twin can also be doing it that way. Atatati takakati takakatotokokokotokokokokoko. So again, we're bringing in that energy. This is the energy that's coming in. The codes are coming in. Go with the flow. Relax. Trust the process. Accept what the actuality is, whilst also accepting that you are always connected, infinitely connected across all space and time. Yeah, that's it. So that's coming down through the spine, anchoring into the earth grids, expanding the crown chakra, and clearing the throat chakra. So this has been coming through as well. It feels like there might be some communication. So speaking the clarity, speaking the issues, speaking the fears, speaking what the triggers are. Essentially looking in that mirror. Yeah. Okay. So there's release through the solar plexus as well as that truth is communicated. And a sense of potency and peace coming through. So it's like there is the ability for you to receive that hope, knowing of that connection at the higher dimensional levels, higher up the soul ray. And being able to access that more through your heart as we're ascending as a collective. These things become more and more possible. There's more and more people and twin flames are able to do it. It opens up, makes it easier for all the rest to follow. It makes it easier to access for everyone else. So it's easier to access now due to the ascension process, to the fact that we're evolving so much so quickly. And being able to access that through the heart makes it much easier to trust the process and surrender the ego for both twins. Okay, so that's the message, everybody. Just letting you know that I have now created a new offering on Patreon specifically for twin flames. It's going to include twin flame teaching, videos, one a month. It's going to include Twinflame live workshops where we do healing specific to the group live. So everyone brings what is going on for them, and we clear it and work through it. And it's going to also include at least one monthly video for you to look at in your own time, with a Twinflame reading for the Patreon collective specifically. So as it's a smaller group, it's much more focused. Atatatita. That's just explaining it in like language to your beings. So that was a healing. You've received codes. What you might find come up is those triggers, though that grief around separation. You might start to get some memories about what is triggering it, or some clarity or some clarification, and hopefully that trust. If you can trust and accept, which are the codes that really strongly came in, hopefully that will help you surrender your ego, surrender your protection, and find your clarity, your trust and your peace and your patience. Blessings, everybody.